This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hello and welcome to Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo, hence name of the podcast. And today I have Dr. Sara. He is the founder and CEO of Vidamonti, and I'm going to let him tell you more about that. But first, Dr., how are you?
Hello, James. Thank you so much for having me. I'm feeling wonderful.
That's great. It's always great to hear. So let's kick it off with a quick introduction about yourself and your company.
Well, I'm currently serving as a founder and CEO of Vidamonti, and what we do is that we are trying to building the e-commerce ecosystem of the future. So we are building technologies that democratize the world's e-commerce data and information for individuals and businesses, as well as governments on the web, metaverse, and beyond to promote open innovation in the ecosystem.
Perfect. And I see that you have also the Klicklook. Is that complementary thing?
Yes. So the Klicklook actually is our the first product which we work very hard. So it's a open. Actually, it's the world's first and largest open visual search engine for fashion e-commerce. Currently is active right now. We just launched about a week ago. So currently it's taking also a lot of focus of our business, in Maine, and as well as of course that we are trying to build another wonderful revolutionary technologies that will help people's life to make it better, and as well as contribute to the world's sustainability and society as well.
Oh, awesome. So when you say so it seems like you're focused on sustainability and you're focused on being progressive, being ahead of the times. Can you tell us what are what are a few key things that you guys are doing that are pushing towards that direction of sustainability and innovation?
So I can maybe talk about with Klicklook actually with this way. So with this product that we choose fashion industry specifically, because fashion industry arguably the second or the third most polluted industry in the world. So every time that new materials are developed and then new technologies are developed like VR, AR, and so on, but in our direction and belief is a little bit different, because that we believe that everything in the fashion industry is related at first hand with customers. So because they buy it, and that's why the companies manufacture stuff. So we wanted to help them save time and money when they are searching, and earn money and rewards when they are browsing and making the search, as well as let them stress-free shopping so they can protect their health in the digital environment, and as well as with this way reduce the returns of the fashion companies, and help them make better decisions like what to manufacture or what's not. So with this way also contribute to the sustainable circularity of the world. That's how we are achieving that.
So you said about stress-free shopping. You mean there's no this time limits by now, all that stuff? Is that what you mean?
It is one of the things, but unfortunately, that right now the entire e-commerce industry is basically, especially the small and medium-sized businesses are trying to make sales basically by using big corporations, So we all know one of them starts with F, one of them starts with G. So not to give actual names of that, but And what happens is that they are actually, trying to drive profitable growth by trading their revenue for the profit. And that's a very bad habit of the businesses. That's why that it's very hard for them to enter the market from the start. And another thing is that because of this SEO strategy, that what we see in the e-commerce industry, people are filled their websites and the product information with the things that has nothing to do with product itself. So this lacks the transparency. People wants to buy products. Sure, you can create stories, but we have tons of examples. Like it's a nightmare, really. And what happens is that you every day have to spend time to make decisions, right? And fashion is one of them too. You are thinking, what color should I choose? Which style I choose? Which brand I choose? These are all decisions that it takes time. And what happens is that because of the so many options and the varieties, then you have to spend more time on it. And that's why this creates overchoice, as known as decision fatigue. And if you repeat the cycle over and over and over again, what happens is that it creates stress on you, even you are not realizing it. So we are saying that we are providing you the unbiased search results backed with relevant information. Instead of, has nothing to do with the product, you don't have to read that. You just see the product name, product details, and the brand name and the price. That's all you need, basically, And we are visualizing this data and information. So while you read, actually, you can also see it at the same time. And thus we are completely blocking this unlost time. So, you can spend your time for better things. Making more podcasts, for example. Wouldn't it be great for the society? I think it would.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's interesting. I mean, I get your points. I would like to get more into it. I guess I'll check it out, right? Like to see it with my own eyes, because I agree completely with what you say. Like there's right now there's so many options, so much like in your face, right? Like it's like Amazon, Google, Facebook, everything is just like now even like maybe even Apple's gonna start doing ads in phones. Like it's so crazy, right? Like sometimes you want to have like something fresh and something that is just simple and that it's not just made for you to consume, like kind of force you. Like you just want to know that you want to buy this because you need it, right? And not because you're forced to, almost because of marketing, right? So
Exactly,
completely agree with
exactly.
that. And then then now my question is, what advice do you have then for, given that you are helping revolutionize this e-com market, what advice do you have for people that either have their company started or they are thinking about starting their own e-com business?
Well, first of all, that the people who are actually, that starting their e-commerce business, I specifically invite them to our platform, of course, because they can actually list their products for absolutely for free. And as well as, they can get so many benefits, especially if they are, a small and medium-sized businesses. We actually support them. And if they are even sustainable and ethical businesses, then we have like way more support. We promote them, and absolutely for free, because we want to contribute also to society. But my main advice, when whatever they are building, definitely that they should know that if it is something people need or would want it doesn't matter. Even if you are manufacturing a t-shirt or the pants or shoes, doesn't matter. You need to know your customer, because otherwise that you will end up, not only wasting your time, but also wasting money. I've seen many business owners lost their houses, their cars, they bankrupt, not even once, several times, Why? Because they were obsessed with the product, not the solution. So you should ask why I should do that. Why? Not how or what. Because when you say the why, that people will understand with the how and why, but by using it. Surely it's not gonna be very easy. It's gonna take time, and you need to work very hard, hustle on the idea that you believe in it. But eventually that it will happen. There are many great examples on that. Like people work 4 years, 5 years, for an idea. But what happened is that nobody cared at the beginning. Why? Because timing was wrong, product couldn't be understood completely by the people. But what happens is that then when your time comes, boom, you are a rock star. Look at the pandemic, for example. The pandemic like created so many different opportunities, and the companies as well, which we never heard of it before until we needed them. So this is a great time for everyone in the US or around the world, create business and make your own. So create businesses, contribute to your own life, empower yourself, and make the society part of it. So then you will rise no matter what.
And so you said that you guys promote for free, right? Like you can spend like post your products for free. So I'm curious, like how do you guys make revenue? Is it because like consulting later, or how do you guys make revenue?
So in case you know that our business, so what we do is that we basically either build like technologies for different brands and so on. But for example, with our search engine, we license it, So and maybe it's a bold saying, but we think and we believe that we have the most advanced site search for the fashion websites in the entire world. Like, well, we can compete with anybody on that. So like I'm not gonna be like shy about that. On the other hand, we have like other stuff too. Like for example, we have a product inside the Klicklook. We call it Klicklook Cash. What happens is that we help especially small and medium-sized businesses. But here is the good part: not only fashion businesses, it can be any business, because we can also actually connect non-fashion businesses with the fashion users as well. So we are creating actually completely a new vertical, new customer segment for them. Example, let's say that you are an ice cream company, okay? So what happens is that you can ship your products, right? Anywhere, it doesn't matter. So what we do is that we already know the characteristics of the people. So when they share, when they contribute to the platform, and as well as, that they share their data and so on, we actually also reward them. We are actually paying them in dollar, okay? So we are also connecting them with the different brands and with different opportunities, because those brands basically wants to promote their products in the most affordable way. So right now that we are actually able to decrease up to 90% of customer acquisition cost of fashion brands and others. So today, to acquire one customer in fashion industry is cost you $129. So imagine you could do this with a $5. I think that's a sweet deal. What do you think?
No, it is. And then the reason of this is that because you're creating you're creating your own, you have your own search engine and everything. So
exactly.
But they still, like, I mean, how do you driving traffic to completely outside like of Google, right? For example, like you're completely outside of that, and driving traffic to that's when it becomes the challenging, right? Like, because it's for example, like I've never heard about it before, right? And a lot of people probably in the same boat, right? Like, yes. So like that attention it's why you pay so much on Amazon or in Google, like, and you do ads and all that, right? Because that's that you're paying for, like, they do to get the attention, like there's traffic in there. So then how do you like
How we
like how
accomplish that?
yeah, how do you guys manage to get people, and how do you guys manage to make it profitable and stay in business and keep
So
innovating?
here's the thing. To be honest, we don't need that kind of like, sure that Google, many people uses Google, but Google is a 20 years old company. We are just launched 1 week ago, so that's completely normal that they are able to do that, you know. But you know that we are building so many other features that we believe that will revolutionize the entire, you know, the e-commerce ecosystem, fashion e-commerce ecosystem, but as well as the normal people as well, the individuals. I will give you maybe some example later on. But here's the thing, what we do, we kind of reverse the old structure. So instead of, you know, spend time building our own network, or, you know, that post, you know, the stuff on social media, gain followers, etc., you know, whether organically or most of brands actually buys it, so that's another thing, and you can, that's completely fine. But instead of that, we build kind of like a big partnership pool, okay, the ecosystem. So we have our own networking system. We use micro and nano influencers, an army of them, and as well as, you know, that other, you know, the platforms like whether bloggers, you know, or like a content creators and so on. So what happens is that we don't have to like actually spend tons of money to do that. We actually distribute the entire thing to those people, and in return, while they are growing their audience, they are also making money, and people also taking advantage of it. So that's why that when brands comes to us, that it's not a big problem. We can already like reach hundreds of millions of people in the entire world with this ecosystem, which we work very hard to create. So any brand can work with us, can match with the right customer, no time. So they don't have to spend tons of money for advertising and so on. That's what we are craving to do for the brands and for the businesses as well. Why you will spend $100 instead of you can spend maybe 10 or maximum or 20, you know, is a huge win-win.
So so for me to understand, like that small, let's say like, you know, $5-10 goes toward a pool, that then in that pool goes into like micro influencers and content creators,
Exactly.
and you already have that in it. Like how many, you know, what's an estimate of how many people do you have in that, you know, in that group or whatever community?
Yeah, I can't really tell an exact number, but what I can say that, you know, so we have several hundreds of million people reach with this group. So if you make the math, it's thousands of people, you know, in a short answer. So what happens is that we are using the information and data and symbiotically connecting shoppers, businesses, creators, and developers in one place. So symbiotic means is in here, we cannot exist without one another, because in the current system, unfortunately, Google will exist, Facebook will exist, even if you don't exist. They will still exist. They don't need you because they already won. And still you feel that you are dependent on them, but in reality you are not, because you created them, you make them what they are today because you are using them. That's why. But we don't want that. Sure, we want to be a very big company, but we want to share what we make with society as well. So
That's cool.
whatever we make, we share.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm interested on learning more about that, because I mean, on our end, with VR, we are very focused on on micro influencers and content creators and a lot of interviews. Like that's what this is one of them, right? Like we do podcasts, but also we get people into virtual stages and live stages, TV, and everything is main on like just tapping into like different crowds, different like very targeted. And then with we have the big level stuff, which is for authority mainly, and obviously like just national authority and visibility. But then we use a lot of micro influencers and people that like if you have 1,000 very engaged followers, or just 10,000, 5,000, but very engaged communities, and you go there on Facebook Lives, you go into podcasts or just any type of interview really, that gets tapped into very targeted communities. That's something that it has a great return. So that's when you mentioned that, I was like, I get it. I mean, we do it. And that's why I was like just asking about, if you already have like the community build, right? Like you have, for example, like for my media pitching team, like they have over 330,000 plus like connections made, right? And then, but they're not all inside of my community, like just enclosed, but they're very tight relationships, right? For the most part, a lot of them at least. And it's that's why I was asking all these questions, because for me, it kind of seems like it aligns a little bit on that area of like, how are you going about getting the attention? And that's why, I wanted to know more, to see if we align on that, and if it's similar, because, that's, I'm just curious. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And for example, this is like one of the things actually that we want to do right now. What you mentioned about podcast, we believe that we have different ways to actually implement podcasts as well into this network. It has never done before. So in a way that we want, at least, but combining, that, so it can create an extra income also for people as well. That's what we think. It's all about this. I think because we focus on Web3 as well. We believe that democratization of information and data, it's everything. It should belong to people, and it should work for people, and we are the people, and we created that, and we are offering people just use it, and we are actually rewarding you for your contribution. We are not stealing anything from you. We are giving back.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask that, and then you brought it in because it is. I love Web3. I love NFTs. I love blockchain technology. And because I like the decentralized, being the autonomous, right? Like having a real democracy where it's non-fungible, right? That you can see every transaction like publicly, and even if there's a vote, everybody just can vote, right? Like, and you can see like that. So I think that's that is a lot of power, giving power back to the people, and like you said, and I completely agree with that. So that's something that we also align, because I'm all about like NFTs, blockchain, and all that too. So, and I'm incorporating that into PR, into other things other ventures that I'm doing too. And because everything, my mission, what I'd say to people, and what I made my mission is, I want to amplify the impact of businesses and people that are doing good in the world. That's my thing, right? Like that's my mission, and that's my why. And then from there, I feel like it's about amplifying the impact. It's to make the world a better place, and that's what I think that Web3 is a great step forward for humanity as a whole, because of the control part. And hopefully one day we're voting even like elections with blockchain technology, and like decentralized social media becomes a thing, very it's kind of a thing already, but it becomes mainstream, and now NFTs are just the social media now, right? And just in the public wallet. So I believe that where you put your money and it's public, that says a lot about you, way more than social media right now, that it's just kind of fake, right? So now that's why like TikTok blew up, because it was raw, right? Like it's so raw. And now incorporating this Web3 technology into this things, it's the future for sure. And how long will it take to the adaptation? Probably at least 3 to 5 more years, but we're on, whoever gets on this train early, like you're doing right now, or like I'm doing, we'll reap big benefits. And because when the time comes, it's mainstream, we already know so much about it. We probably invested in a couple of projects, right? We have things going on. So yeah, I'm excited to learn more about both Klicklook and Vidamonti and being able to hopefully be part of something big, right? And something that brings value and power back to the people. So thanks for coming here and giving us this information.
It was my pleasure, and thank you so much. That we believe that, on the internet, everybody who shares their data, who shares their information, they also deserve to take something for it. They shouldn't be just products. Sure that something is provided for free, they say you are the product. We don't believe that, because we cannot exist without users. It doesn't matter whatever. Even if you build right now teleportation, if you don't have people to use it, this will just stay in there. You can teleport yourself back and forth. That's it.
No, yeah, I agree. I've talked to other people too, like in this, like there's a lot of people with this train of thought, and it's been a thing for a long time, and now it's just getting more popular and more popular, and slowly, we're adapting, because taking control back, like we got all these tech giants like running the economy basically, right, running everything, and it's becoming almost like a monopoly in between them, right? And look at Amazon taking control of everything, like Google, all that. So it's good to come up with new innovations that will give power back to the people, and we can just make it more pleasant to be online and everything, because right now, like you said, it's got a lot of stress, it's a lot of things, and we're getting all fatigue, right, and all these things. So I'm glad that to see you doing something in a better direction, and hopefully I can help you in any way that I can to promote this, because I think it's for a good cause, right? Like it's to give back to the people, and you're giving data, but you get something back, and having the native token and everything. I think it could create something special. And I'm all about creating movement and creating communities, like digital assets. All that is that's my thing. That's what I love the most. So I'm excited to learn more. So, thanks, DR, to come here again. I think is very, very informational, and we only have so many hours in the day to spare in a way, right? And for you to come here and take the time to add value to my audience, and just to have a pleasant conversation, invaluable conversation that we can share, that means a lot to me, and hopefully means something for the audience.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, James. It was a pleasure for me, and I hope that we shared some informative stuff with your audience, and I'm always happy when I contribute to the people's life, even if it is a little bit.
Exactly. Me too. Even if we impact one person, we impacted one person. We still, I really wanted to talk to you anyway, right? So might as well have a conversation. That's what I like about this podcast, just having a conversation that is just valuable, that I would have had anyway, most likely, but now make it a little bit more structured and organized and record it to be able to share it with the world. So, thanks again. And guys, check out Klicklook or Vidamonti right there in the screen. I'm also going to have the links in the description. And this was DR and Foo, and this is us signing off.
To Moments with Foo with your host, Foo. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.